Oklahoma hospitals are crowded with COVID patients, the University of Oklahoma's response to a potential vaccine, and COVID numbers growing quickly across the country. This is OU Nightly.
The idea that this is a humanitarian disaster. Folks from Doctors Without Borders, they are coming into the United States.
The COVID crisis in the United States is so severe that international aid workers are now focused on our country. Hello and thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Autumn Waggner.
And I'm Haley Weger. We begin with another record-shattering number of COVID cases. The numbers are growing so quickly here in Oklahoma that our state is under another red flag warning. The White House Coronavirus Task Force is again calling the situation in Oklahoma a crisis and recommending a statewide mask mandate. But Governor Kevin Stitt says he will only strongly suggest people wear one. The problem is growing across the country too, with the United States marking its second straight day of record high hospitalizations and crossing the 10 million mark for number of cases nationwide. Doctors and other experts say we are now in the humanitarian crisis mode.
The numbers of cases in Oklahoma continues to grow at a record pace. The Oklahoma State Health Department says there are 2,357 new cases in the state today for a total of almost 23,000 active cases. The health department is also reporting 11 new deaths, bringing Oklahoma's total to 1,481.
And right now, we have more people than ever before in the hospital for COVID-19, with almost 1,300 patients. The Oklahoma State Department of Health is reporting most hospitals are near capacity in the ICUs in both Oklahoma City and Tulsa. While there are still beds available, hospitals say they are concerned about being able to staff all of the rooms. Visiting nurses from out of state are being called into the Lawton area. The state health department says at this time they believe every Oklahoman who needs a hospital bed will have access to one.
And a promising vaccine is providing a glimmer of hope for many Americans, but experts are warning that it may not be here as quick as many hope. OU Nightly's Kelsey Hovnitz tells us what that means for OU students.
A light at the end of the tunnel. That's what Pfizer's Phase 3 clinical trial results were for many Americans hoping to see the end of the pandemic in the near future. But as medical providers look more closely at distribution plans, the direction seems unclear. Still, Governor Stitt remains optimistic about Oklahoma's plan for the vaccine.
Vaccination is, we're getting some traction there. Pfizer said it's 90% effective, and so we're excited about some of those things coming in. We got a great plan to get that out to Oklahomans.
Although the vaccine could be seen in the state as early as this year, OU's Chief COVID Officer Dale Bratzler says that the first round will be exclusively for healthcare workers and first responders. Bratzler says he likes the mechanism by which the vaccines work and sees them as safe, but they have one big challenge.
They have to be stored in ultra cold storage, far below the temperature that the vast majority of physician offices have the capability to do.
Question on the minds of OU students and their families, however, is when this vaccine will be available for them.
I actually think it'll be a while before vaccine will be offered routinely to college-age students, just because I think they'll be relatively low on the priority list, not because we don't want to give you the vaccine, but again, your risk of complications of the disease is tremendously lower than older people or people who are sick.
Although college-age students are low on the priority list for receiving this vaccine, Dr. Bratzler says that OU students with pre-existing conditions that make them high risk could be seeing this vaccine in the near future. Kelsey Hovnitz, OU Nightly.
All students are being advised to get a COVID test before heading home for the holidays. Experts say this will help limit the chance someone could unknowingly infect their family members.
As cases rise nationwide, New York City leaders say they may have to shut down schools again. Grace Whitten has that story and the rest of today's headlines from around the world in News Center. Grace.
Thanks, Haley. We are now at more than 50 million COVID-19 cases worldwide, and New York City is preparing to shut down schools. Mayor Bill de Blasio of New York City says the shutdown will happen if the test positivity rate continues to rise. On a 7-day average, the city currently sees a 2.6% test positivity rate. De Blasio hopes that if schools do shut down, it would only be for a brief period of time. The city will also implement various restrictions, including curfews on bars and restaurants, starting tomorrow. And a helicopter crashed in the southern Sinai Peninsula this morning, killing 8 military members. 6 of those 8 deaths were Americans. One surviving American was evacuated from the crash site by Israel Defense Forces and transported to an Israeli hospital. We currently do not know the extent of injuries. The Czech Defense Ministry said the crash was caused by technical issues and included a Black Hawk helicopter with multinational force and observers. The names of the victims have not been released out of respect for their family members. And multiple GOP senators say that President-elect Joe Biden should get access to classified briefings. While some of the GOP lawmakers support Trump's efforts to challenge the election, many agree that Biden should be prepared if he does end up elected. Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma says he will intervene if the Trump administration refuses Biden access to the intelligence briefings by Friday. The Senate Majority Leader and House Minority Leader have both declined to comment. And another person in Trump's inner circle has COVID-19. Trump advisor Corey Lewandowski announced a positive test this morning.
Thank you, Grace. And OU faculty is receiving a new form of end-of-the-semester evaluations. This comes after a petition to give students the option of a pass-fail grade semester was turned down by the university provost. OU Nightly's Lindsey Gibbs is live with the story. Lindsey?
That's right. University professors used to receive a scored evaluation. Now they will be receiving written feedback from an evaluation committee. This due to the ongoing stresses of the pandemic. Zoom meetings, exams, and a deadly pandemic. All stressors that face OU students and faculty who are hoping for another pass-fail semester.
But I know a lot of people have been struggling and have been really freaking out because they're very hands-on learners or visual learners, and it's really hard to get all of that through the screen on Zoom. So
5,000 OU students and faculty signed a petition recommending pass-fail, which was turned down by University Provost Jill Irving. In a statement, Irving says the negative consequences of a pass-fail bring challenges applying to graduate programs, law schools, or job opportunities requiring grades for the fall semester.
A lot of professors are better at teaching in person than online. They really haven't been able to teach online as well, and that shows from the students' grades and stuff.
Professors will now be given written feedback from the Teaching Evaluation Working Group rather than the normal numerical ratings for mentoring and developmental purposes. However, students are reluctant to hear a new evaluation system for OU professors will be put in place.
I mean, I think it's wrong just because they gave us that option whenever it first went online. They should continue to do that.
The deadline to drop a class with an automatic W has been extended until November 20th. The provost office says it's also urging its faculty to be more lenient when it comes to grading and assignments. For now, we're live from Evans Hall. Lindsey Gibbs, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Lindsey. Temperatures have been sitting in the 70s lately.
How much longer will that last? OU Nightly's Colton Williams has our first look at weather.
Yeah, ladies, so we're going to go ahead and talk about the East Coast. We'll come back home here in just a bit, but right now looking off the eastern coast of Georgia and South Carolina, the remnants of Hurricane Ada, or what was Hurricane Ada, dumped quite a bit of rain in the Carolinas, but it's going to continue to move off to the Atlantic Ocean over the next couple of days. Won't be causing the United States any more problems, but it did leave its mark. South Florida, just a little over 16 inches just north of Miami. All of South Florida received plenty of rain, and the Carolinas did as well. It dumped a foot of rain in southern North Carolina. It'll continue to do so throughout the day, but here at home, we're tracking some rain chances. We've got a milder pattern ahead, and we're talking about a warmer Thanksgiving. We'll have that all coming up here in the full forecast.
Thanks, Colton. And COVID-19 cases are trending higher in certain parts of the country. We'll take a look at a possible reason why.
Plus, when you should start quarantining if you plan on visiting family this Thanksgiving. We'll be right back. Welcome back to OU Nightly. COVID-19 rates are rapidly rising in the Midwest. Shannon Erhardt has more in Health Beat. Shannon?
Yeah, you guys, new COVID-19 hospitalization and deaths are accelerating at record-breaking rates, with 241,000 deaths nationwide. The White House Coronavirus Task Force warned of accelerating community spread across the top half of the country. In every Midwestern state, COVID patients occupy more than 25% of ICU beds. Though the vaccine, when it gets approved, will likely suppress the spread, Dr. Fauci says people may need booster shots in the future because the vaccine may not provide long-term protection. And a surge in COVID cases leads to shrinking hospital capacity in Ravalli County, Montana. Cases have doubled in the last 3 weeks, despite a group of emergency physicians begging their community to follow the restrictions. The rise in cases is forcing local hospitals to transfer those suffering life-threatening conditions to hospitals out of the state. But it's not just Montana. Today marked the 9th straight day of the U.S. topped 100,000 daily infections, with Montana recording 1,101 of those. Doctors say their community is on the brink of disaster. And it turns out that taking people's temperature and asking simple questions about symptoms and travel is not very effective. The New England Journal of Medicine conducted a study of testing, following, and quarantining about 2,000 Marine Corps recruits before and at the start of their basic training. Few infected recruits and symptoms despite daily temperature and symptom screening, but the nasal swab test proved otherwise. This suggests that relying solely on external screening is not very effective in finding infected individuals. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Shannon. All very important things to know. The Bedlam Blood Drive continues on campus this week. What the race to the most blood donated looks like straight ahead.
Plus, Colton Williams has another look at the weather. Colton?
Yeah, we've had a beautiful day today. It's going to continue this evening. Small cold front tonight, then rain chances. We're tracking all that coming up in the full forecast. All right, welcome back to OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us. I'm Colton Williams. We're taking a live look now at downtown Oklahoma City. It's a gorgeous afternoon out there. It's been pretty pleasant. We're setting up for a beautiful sunset now, looking straight at the Devon Tower. 68 out there right now. Once again, a little bit cloudy, but winds out of the northwest. Dew point is at a comfortable 42. We're taking a look at our lows tonight statewide. We will have a small cold front come through this evening. That's why the winds prevailing out of the north will reach close to freezing Oklahoma City. Much of northwestern, north central, and northeastern Oklahoma will all reach freezing this evening, and then that's going to lead to some problems in the morning. Tomorrow, 37. Don't let that deceive you. I'll tell you why here in just a moment. But as we go throughout the rest of the day, 50 by lunchtime, 55 by the evening, and we do have a rain chance tomorrow evening. The reason I said don't let that 37 be deceptive is because tomorrow morning, cold front will bring some wind chills, 28 here in the central portion of the state, but much of Oklahoma will be feeling below freezing tomorrow morning as you get out the door. We will warm up, though, throughout the day to our midday high of 58 here, so we'll be approaching 60. Some of eastern and south central and southeastern Oklahoma will be reaching 60 tomorrow afternoon, but winds will begin to shift back out of the south. We do have a rain chance coming through tomorrow evening, 60% here for us in the central portion of the state. Much of central Oklahoma extending all the way down I-40 towards Muskogee and Tulsa and McAllister. That will be in a 40% range, but won't be a widespread event tomorrow, but we will have some decent chances of some showers and precipitation tomorrow. We're taking a look at an 8 to 14 day outlook here. It's looking like Thanksgiving is going to be on the warm and dry side. You see South Central America is going to be completely in the warmer and drier category. And so Oklahoma will be included there, and that will include the Thanksgiving holiday. So as we once again take a look as we continue into this weekend, going to have a beautiful weekend after the rain chance tomorrow. Another cool down come Monday, and then as we approach Tuesday and Wednesday, middle to upper 60s, we could have 70s return by Thursday. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Colton. Bedlam is a week away, but there's some bad news for Sooner fans. OSU is beating us at the Bedlam Blood Drive. OU students and staff can help us catch up to the Cowboys, though. Just head over to the Armory here on campus and donate a pint of blood. You can also donate plasma, and you'll be entered to win $1,000. Organizers say blood is needed now more than ever. Donations are down due to the recent ice storm and the ongoing pandemic. The blood drive is going on until Friday at 4 p.m.
We don't have any Sooner football to watch this weekend, but Sydney Baulier joins us with some other Sooner sports news.
Haley and Autumn, the Masters is underway in November and the weather is already getting in the way. And I'm going to tell you who's headlining the Super Bowl this year. Stay tuned, sports is next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Sydney Baulier. Let's talk some sports. Round 1 of the 84th Masters is slowly but surely off to a start today in Augusta. After the tournament was delayed 7 months due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it was delayed another 3 hours this morning because of inclement weather. Defending champ Tiger Woods matched his best first-round Masters score with an error-free 68, while favorite Justin Thomas set the tone with a strong start. Golfers will play today until the November Augusta sun runs out, and will get back after it tomorrow. And yesterday was National Signing Day in the NCAA, and let me tell you, the Sooner sports program as a whole is not messing around. Women's gym, men's gym, baseball, tennis, wrestling, and volleyball are among Sooner teams bringing home some big signees to Norman next year. Now, as far as football goes, the Crimson and Cream are off this week, but all eyes are lasered in on Bedlam next Saturday. This is a must-win for the Sooners. John Barry joins us with more on the legendary matchup.
The Sooners football team continued their win streak after rolling past the Kansas Jayhawks this past weekend. OU is now preparing for a very different but highly anticipated Bedlam game. Drake Stoops takes a look back at some Bedlam moments.
There's definitely some good ones back when we scored last minute with, I think, touchdown to Jalen Saunders it was, from Blake Bell threw a touchdown to him to win up in Stillwater that one year. That was a great game. Shoot, I remember a bad memory when Tyreek Hill returned a touchdown to win the game. I remember that one. Shoot, I remember them all.
Not only has Drake Stoops earned his new role, but now he is embracing it. After the big game-winning catch against Texas, Stoops says he is prepared for more in this huge rivalry game for the Sooners.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around it for a long time. It's definitely a great rivalry, and I think I'll just continue to do whatever's asked of me and fulfill whatever role I have the opportunity of playing in the game. And this year I'm having a little bit of a bigger role, and so I'll be ready to fulfill that to the best of my ability and prepare well, so I'll be ready for the opportunity.
This is the 9th night Bedlam game, but the first one here in Norman ever. Kickoff is next Saturday at 6:30 right here at the Palace on the Prairie. I'm John Barry, OU Nightly Sports.
And while we aren't sure who's going to be playing in the Super Bowl yet, since it's only week 10, but we know who's going to be performing. The Weeknd will headline the Pepsi halftime show in Tampa Bay, Florida on February 7th. The artist joins the long list of hit performers that played the iconic shows, such as Michael Jackson, Beyonce, and Tom Petty. I'm definitely a fan of the pick, but I'm not sure if it'll top my favorite halftime show thus far, Lady Gaga. And I don't know how many of you tuned into last night's Maction game, but you've got to see this. With 47 seconds left, the QB sneak brings the Broncos within 4 points of the Rockets. But oh no, they missed the extra point and will need a touchdown to beat Toledo. So they go for the onside kick and recover it. Now 20 seconds left to get a touchdown. They get to the line, fake the spike, and throw it to a wide open Jalen Hall while the Rocket players stand there, jaws dropped to the ground. Western Michigan wins 41-38. Now, if you needed a sign to start watching mid-action week football, that's it. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sydney. And a turkey in Boston is in quite the foul mood.
What it's doing to the residents, straight ahead on OU Nightly.
I'm Donovan England at the OU Nightly Update Desk. A Tennessee man has been exonerated after serving 15 years for a brutal murder he didn't commit. Joseph Webster's exoneration will be the first in Nashville history since the Davidson County Review Unit was established in 2016. Be sure to like us and follow OU Nightly on Facebook. And if you have a suggestion for a news story, let us know. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
With Thanksgiving just 2 weeks away, a turkey in Boston is making sure he doesn't end up on your dinner plate.
The turkey is terrorizing residents in the streets of Hyde Park, Massachusetts, by chasing and attacking them. The foul bird even spurred one woman clawing her arm. Talk about ruffling up your feathers. You know, I guess he was just trying to prove that he wasn't a chicken.
I agree. And Colton's here with one last look at your weather. Colton.
Yeah, Haley, we're going to be talking about those rain chances come through tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon at 9 p.m., we're looking at rain forming on the northern side of Oklahoma City all the way up towards Bartlesville. That'll move out, and then another little pocket will move through by Saturday 3 a.m. By Saturday afternoon, we'll have cloud cover across eastern Oklahoma, and then after that, we'll be out of here as far as rain is concerned. So yeah, ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Colton. And thanks for joining us for our last Thursday edition of OU Nightly.
OU Nightly is brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We do have 2 more live shows of the semester, but we'll see you again on Thursdays in 2021.
Thanks for watching. Good night.